This week of athletics was packed. We had 3 stacked meetings on in the span of 4 days, as well as a high schooler beating veteran professionals. Click that if you're interested. And there were a lot of weird and wacky storylines. For one, I'm calling it now. Julien Alfred is going to be unbeatable this year. Duplantis being beatable was a fever dream, and I'm sorry for even bringing it up. Warholm is breaking world records, yet somehow still can't win. And I promise you, these are just the tip of the iceberg.
Yes, we all can. Joel coming, Siratsi's coming.
She's trying to keep it as slow as possible, and they're playing into her.
Alfred this weekend ran 2 races. First, a 10:89 in Oslo, which was a bit of an imperfect race. She reacts a bit slow to the gun, but makes the stagger up very quick, and from there the race is hers, even easing ahead of the line.
Last 30 metres, the Olympic champion stretches away for the rest of the field.
And hand to my chest, this was one hell of an impressive opener. Based off this race, and the fact she's coming off running longer reps in training,
no more 400s now?
No more 400s, no.
She was already going to be my pick for the year. But then what she did in Stockholm really drove it home.
So you have just met Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
How is that?
He's been my idol like since I was younger. I always wanted to be just like him.
It's a pretty good start. Dina Rasmussen has got out, but look at Julien Alfred. Dina Rasmussen trying to chase her, but it's the Olympic champion who comes away to take the win.
Holy mama. Just like Oslo, this ain't no easy field. You have multiple Olympic finalists in Asher Smith, Nita, and Toulouse. But Alfred looked like a different species in comparison, powering through the midsection of this race, and again, easing before and through the line. This is the second fastest time in her career, and at a Diamond League no less. You've seen it, we've seen it, wacky times going down at wacky places all year, but you can always trust the times at a Diamond League. Yes, it isn't the fastest in the world this year, that goes to Melissa Jefferson's 10:73, but holy moly, it is the scariest. And that's for a few reasons. It's her second race of the year, and it's a time that would have crippled the Olympic final in a refurbished stadium from the year 1912, so you know this track isn't fast. In fact, the fastest time run on the Stockholm track prior was a 10.9. So in saying that, Asher Smith actually ran a banger too, just overshadowed. Since the Paris Olympics, I've been a broken record. Alfred, 10:72 in the wind and rain. No one is beating her anymore if she stays focused. And she's at least more focused than her main competition. She's also been hinting at the double with her new distance training base paired with her 100-meter speed. Gabby's in trouble. I owe Duplantis, and you guys, an apology. At the World Indoor Championships this year, Emmanuel Corrales had an all-timer of a meet, clearing 6.05 meters and showing potential at 6:10. While Duplantis himself struggled a little bit, having a subpar day for him, and I called him beatable. But I was plain wrong, and I'm sorry. I saw a vision of an incredible rivalry in the heat of an intense battle, but since, Duplantis has done nothing but destroy. In Oslo, as a Swede in Norwegian territory, I believe he self-sabotaged as to not break the world record on Norwegian land, needing 3 attempts at 6.03 meters,
And that's more like it from Duplantis.
and then 2 for 6.15.
15. And that's much tidier from Duplantis there.
An unusual intermediate height when he would usually skip to the world record, but obliterating it nonetheless. And in second, Corrales, my great prophesized rival to Duplantis, striking out at 5.92, getting some good height, but lacking the depth. So 3 days later at Stockholm, the headlines have already spoiled the fun I'm sure, Duplantis jumped 4 times. 5.80 meters, 5.90, 6 meters.
And 6 meters tonight. Boom, over that one.
Before skipping 28 centimeters directly to the world record. And I know a lot of you only watch the pole vault from highlights, and it's a shame. You don't get to see how much focus, support, and involvement every athlete has in getting Duplantis over this bar. Oftentimes, other vaulters will relay how the wind feels down the runway to him, so he can start his run up when the conditions are still. He'll spend minutes standing stoic and holding incredible focus, mentally rehearsing everything in his head before sprinting full force down the runway, clear-minded.
6:28. Oh, he's got it! First time, there you are!
The men's pole vault has cultivated an awesome culture of support for each other. They encourage each other to do better, and it's undoubtedly a factor that helps push Duplantis to heights we might never see anyone else touch in our lifetime. Today, he won by 38 centimeters, his 12th consecutive world record. He is unmatched, and I was wrong. Someone also did the maths and found that this would be like winning the 100-meter dash by 0.6 seconds, which is technically true using percentages. And that's just pretty funny. In hardly any other event will you see the three best in history match up so many times, or one of them even race the world's greatest pole vaulter for that matter. But while we all remember Warholm as the world record holder, since the start of 2023, Warholm has not beat Rai Benjamin once in a 400-meter hurdle race. You see where I'm going with this? In Oslo, the home country of Warholm, he put on the performance of a lifetime in the 300-meter hurdles.
This one. Away they go.
He'd run a tight race against Benjamin, who looked impressively strong for 70% of this race, holding a distinct lead around the bend while Dos Santos lagged behind. But in the hardest part of the race, where the men are separated from the boys, Warholm unleashes a violent surge as Benjamin fades.
And goes clear and storms past the American.
32.67? Damn, that's a huge world record by about 0.4 of a second. Big enough that Warholm exposes his nipples just like 2021. Clearly, Warholm losing, a lot, has been weighing on his mind. Prior to this year, the 300-meter hurdle world record was 33.26 seconds from 2021, the year in which he unleashed this. He's now lowered that time twice in 2025 by 0.6 of a second, and everyone was singing his praises. Warholm is that guy. No one is beating Warholm this year, and arguably, the numbers back it up too.
I like to see like crazy fast times, but if I win tomorrow, I'm taking my shirt off.
Unlike their last matchup, it's Warholm who gets out the strongest this time. Not gonna lie, probably riding off the high of his world record a few days ago, leading into the straight, before fading, and Benjamin wins again.
Team and is going away, and Warholm is beaten, and it's going to be Benjamin against Dos Santos.
I didn't see this coming. For those keeping score at home, that's Benjamin's 5th consecutive win over Warholm, and Benjamin is still yet to lose to Warholm in a 400 hurdle race since 2023. Also, 46.54 is a top 10 time ever. But more importantly, he didn't take his damn shirt off.
If I win tomorrow, I'm taking my shirt off.
This matchup's dynamic changes every year, every month, every race. Personally, I think Warholm came out too eager, thinking he was in invincible form, and paid the price. Basically, he failed a heat check. Now this is an event that has changed drastically over the last 2 years. 142 used to be an identifier for a generational talent. It would have won you every single Olympics and World Championship except 2, Paris 2024 and London 2012, where the 2 fastest times in history were run. Now, 142 might get you second place at a Diamond League if it's early enough in the season. This weekend, Wanyonyi, the Olympic champion, took it to the track in both Oslo and Stockholm, featuring 5 of the 8 Olympic finalists. That's actually crazy. These guys aren't afraid to race. So what should have been kind of close, and even look at the results seemed close, Wanyonyi won both from gun to tape. I don't think anyone was ahead of him at any point in these 2 races besides the pacer. Although, in Oslo he did look distraught, rounding the final bend before finding something out of nothing and just winning anyway.
Starting to vault on the inside, but the Kenyan digs deep, he finds something.
142.78. Like really, I thought he was as good as dead and he still won. In post-race interview, the first thing he says, his body wasn't feeling too good.
But today my body is not feeling well.
And secondly, that someone could go sub 140.
Maybe someone who can run under 140.
Fast forward to Stockholm. Wanyonyi goes out even harder off the gun, and as I alluded to earlier, no one touches him for the rest of the race. And while this front-running extravaganza plays out, just look at the finishing times. First place in 141.95. And ignoring Hoppel falling victim to today's brutal 800 meter standards, the slowest time at these 2 events was a 144.33. This is the new standard.
Quickly as he often does, but Wanyonyi's going to take it. Look at the time, 141.95.
People wanted me to talk about Donovan Brazier's comeback. He was the 2019 world champion. He was then out for 4 years and then came back with a 144.70. He basically would have come dead last in both these races. I'm not here to be a hater. I understand the excitement for a vintage Brazier to come back. And pausing it here mid-editing, he did drop a 143 in his second comeback race of the season. But that doesn't really change my point. The poor bastard has come back from injury into 800 meter hell. 20 of the 40th fastest times ever were run in 2024 and 2025. I remember when tactical racing in the 800 meter used to be a thing. Now if Wanyonyi's in the race, you know you're going to have to chase him down. And if he's not there, Arop. And if not him, Sejati. These guys just hate each other, and I know I would if I had to bust my guts just to place at a Diamond League every single time. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. This is the year the 800 meter world record falls. Yeah, I know, only crazy takes on this channel. Oh, and on the women's side, MORAA finally did what I've been telling you all about, racing like an absolute asshole. So get this, Stockholm Diamond League, she goes out hard, making sure she nestles right behind the pacer early, before nailing the brakes, blocking and imploding the whole field.
I don't get this. I mean, just go past her.
And she manages to hold everyone up for about 350 meters before finally someone gets pissed off enough to move around her. And she just takes it. Mission accomplished. She's jostled their jimmies. They're banged up, uncomfortable, wasted valuable energy dealing with her while she's just chilling out at the front jogging. And in the final lap on the back straight, she turns on the turbos, making her way around the field, hooning around the bend, just to end up finishing second behind Hunter Bell.
Brilliant running too here from Hunter Bell down the outside. Hunter Bell's going to steal it at the line.
Yeah, it's second place, but it worked, and was that not entertaining as hell? This is a question for you 800 guys out there. Is there a real reason to race like this? By the numbers and accolades, she's the class of the field, Paris bronze medalist, second fastest personal best. But I gotta say it, I do love her for it. Because life isn't fun if you can't do a bit of trolling. The NCAA sprint. What a disappointment. We saw some fantastic potential in the prelims. Ajayi, 992. And I was actually convinced Anthony was holding out and just not looking ragged.
In my mind, I broke the American record, 969.
On the women's, Ford and the younger Charlton, Devon Charlton, the 60 meter world record holder's younger sister, 10.87 seconds. Just for literally everyone to fall apart in the finals on both sides. And to be fair, I do want to cut them some slack. Besides some dodgy timing that the NCAA has had problems with the last couple years, there have been championship racing for 2 weeks. The NCAA is brutal. You needed to run 10 flat and 11 flat at regionals to qualify for this meet. They were burnt toast by the time they showed up to the actual championship final. Also, Jordan Anthony announced he's gone pro after this whole debacle. So if you're left with a bad taste in your mouth after a 10.07 second victory, you can rinse your mouth out with some real times when he races on the pro circuit very soon. And if I had to choose my personal highlights from the NCAA champs, one of them would be Makarawu's comeback from an injury in April to win the 200 meters from lane 9 in a legit 19.84 seconds. Also Zimbabwe sweep.
Jordan Anthony with a late rush, but it's going to be Makarawu. It's a Zimbabwean sweep.
To run that fast after 2 weekends of rounds is a superpower. And my other favourite highlight was in an extremely poetic result in the men's discus. Alekna, the world record holder, would struggle through the competition, failing to nail legal throws, while Alfred Mullings would exceed expectations, throwing a massive stadium personal best of 69.31 meters to secure his lead. And Alekna couldn't respond. This would mark the second time in Alekna's career he would have a championship title stolen by a Jamaican exceeding expectations. And the best part, who was Mullings representing? The University of Oklahoma. No matter how far Alekna throws, his career will forever be cursed by the windy plains of Ramona, Oklahoma. It just writes itself. And that's the week. Sorry for missing some killer races, especially the wild rides and the 5Ks. It was a huge weekend, man. And come on, we all know I'm biased. Can't wait to go outside and touch some grass.